It's a fan favorite among kids of all ages. For some, one of the few foods they'll eat. But a new report is raising concerns about mac and cheese.
We tested 30 different cheese products, and 29 out of the 30 products that we tested contained phthalates.
Christina Stella of the Center for Food Safety says their coalition of advocacy groups also commissioned testing of regular cheese and processed cheese products, but found the highest phthalate levels in 10 popular mac and cheese brands, even the organic variety.
There were 4 times as many phthalates.
The most common phthalate found, DEPH, is on California's Prop 65 list, linked to cancer, male reproductive harm, and birth defects. Phthalates have long been banned from children's toys, but the FDA still allows phthalates in food, even though a government report concluded food, drugs, and beverages were the primary source of phthalate exposure 3 years ago.
And they're allowed under regulations that are now 30 years old.
Phthalates are chemicals used to make plastics soft. They're not added to food, but absorbed during processing or from packaging.
So it's not as simple as saying, never eat mac and cheese again, because this might be in other products.
Absolutely.
It is in other products.
It is.
Dr. Trisande says the cheese findings aren't surprising. His research shows a link between phthalates and an increase in blood pressure and insulin resistance in children. While it is difficult to avoid phthalates, he says you should attempt to reduce exposure.
Eating fresh fruits and vegetables in particular is a great way to avoid contact with the food packaging.
But for most, a life without processed foods is unrealistic.
For those who can't simply stop eating processed foods, what can you do?
I think the best thing that consumers can do is demand change from these companies.
The groups have petitioned the FDA to regulate phthalates in food and are calling on consumers to petition companies like Kraft to phase phthalates out of their production lines. Now, Kraft reiterates it does not add phthalates and says the levels found are below what scientific authorities have deemed as acceptable. In San Francisco, I'm Julie Watts. The groups have petitioned the FDA to regulate phthalates and are now calling on consumers to petition companies like Kraft to phase phthalates out of their production line. Now, Kraft reiterates it does not add phthalates to food, and it says the levels found were below what scientific authorities have identified as acceptable. Julie Watts, CBS News, San Francisco.